Hello, I am Dr. Lisa Lacan, and I am here to answer some of your questions. Over the course of the week, I've gotten some questions, so this is going to be very interesting. So, are you ready for the first one? First one is, who the heck are you? But they didn't say heck. Who the heck are you? So, I am Dr. Lisa Lacan, and I have a master's in rehabilitation counseling, as well as I am a certified rehabilitation counselor. I also have a PhD in psychiatric rehabilitation. So that's who I am. All right, so here's another question. What is Urban Tools for Change? All right, so Urban Tools for Change is the podcast that I'm coming out with, and I am going to launch that in May. So, with that said, I look forward to getting more questions. I look forward to working with you, and I can't wait until next month until we launch Urban Tools for Change by Dr. Lisa Lacan. With that said, have a wonderful, wonderful, safe day, and don't forget about mental wellness. It's our feelings, our thought life, as well as what we do and our actions, okay? Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about mental health. Hello, 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 my urbanites. How are you doing tonight? Let's talk about urban issues plaguing our community with Dr. Lisa Lacan. Hello, 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 my urbanites. How are you doing tonight? This evening, depending on where you are. Welcome to Urban Suites. Where's Black Lives Matter when it comes to things like this? I don't know, but I know sex trafficking. Oftentimes the kids are Black. The reason why I call it foster pimps, because some of these foster parents who are pimps, they sexually abuse these kids. And this is not based on my opinion. This is based on statistics. And I'm speaking to you, not basing it on my opinion. I'm talking about statistics. They pimp these kids out. They try to pimp the system to get this money to go on traveling trips for themselves and for their family. Meanwhile, these vulnerable children who feel neglected, who feel abandoned, who knows what happened to them. One of the long-term side effects, the inability to have an orgasm. Now, who wouldn't want to have an orgasm? Anyway, what is sex? Man, I'm telling you, sex is so powerful. My husband came in the house today with some oil called Sex Daddy. Now, what the hell? I mean, excuse me. What is Sex Daddy oil? I mean, what? Remember, I am Dr. Lisa Lacan. I am here for you. If you have emailed me some questions, I am at urban2podcast@gmail.com. Come armed with your questions. Have a wonderful, blessed evening. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. right, so I mentioned something. I said HBCUs. So a lot of people don't know what an HBCU is. So what is an HBCU? An HBCU is a historically Black college and university. And I had the privilege of attending one, the best one on the planet, Hampton University, the standard of excellence. And basically HBCUs were predominantly founded by some of them were founded by white people for Blacks because we did not have the opportunity to attend, regular colleges. Now, some of the HBCUs, like Hampton University, was founded also for Native Americans. So on the campus of Hampton University, which is in Hampton, Virginia, we started out, students started out Blacks, Native Americans, those that did not have the opportunity to attend other predominantly white institutions. We call those PWIs. So that's what a historical HBCU is, historical Black college and university. So my goodness. How many HBCU players are in the NFL? Well, in this class in 2021, there were 18. And the reason why I am bringing up about HBCUs, because there was a major issue involving Deion Sanders. Because HBCUs aren't considered as prestigious. So this is what happened. Deion Sanders, he's the coach. He used to play for Dallas. I think his name was Showtime, Primetime, whatever. Now, I'm a Washington football team fan, so I really didn't like Deion Sanders, but I applaud the brother now. So he is the coach of Jackson State University, JSU in Mississippi. So basically, it says that he out-recruited, what is his name, Travis Hunter? Yes, the top #1 high school player in the country is going to an HBCU. Oh my goodness. The PWIs, okay, predominantly white institutions, the top 5 or the Power 5, they were so upset and worried. I mean, they just, listen, my theory is this. Not only were they upset, but there were a lot of little Karens in the making upset too. And I am so honored that he is doing that because that was his personal choice. It wasn't about him attending Clemson, Alabama, all these other big schools. And he said something personally himself, Travis, about attending an HBCU. He said basically they have a rich history and he wants to be a part of that history. And that he's making this decision because that's what he wants to do. He feels it's best for him to make that decision as well as those coming behind him. So applaud and kudos. Let me ring my bell. Yay, Travis Hunter. Yay. Kudos to you. Yay. And Jackson State University.
You are entering the Urban Suite.
I love it. It's no coincidence that his initials are DC. And remember, back in the day, we used to be called the Chocolate City. Well, DC for Dave Chappelle stands for dark chocolate because he's standing there with his dark chocolate self, He says the book is Clifford. What does he call it? Clifford, the Big Black Ninja. I said, Lord, my God, Clifford, the Big Black Ninja. Let's talk. Woo! He left $50 million on the bus. Would you leave $50 million on the bus? 50 million. Kudos. Listen, Mrs. Chappelle, God bless you. Because I know.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
So that's it in a nutshell. But we're going to learn and do so much more together. I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to provide you with some urban tips. And if someone asks me a question, why is it Why is it called urban? Well, it's urban because that's just who I am. I was born and raised in an urban city. I work in an urban city. I love the community. I love my urban community. I can't imagine a world for me without having my hands in the urban community. I love it. And as a matter of fact, on Urban Tools for Change, we're going to have an urban beat section where I am actually going out in the street. I'm wearing a mask, of course, and I'm asking people questions like, what are your thoughts about, have you ever heard of psych rehab? What's a mental health toolbox? Questions about what is mental health. So I'm going to be asking questions, going out in the street, asking my clients certain things, because I don't like just giving you information. I like also understanding what my community, what they think. And I like you to hear directly from them, not from me. You're going to hear directly from them, and it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny. Oh, I love my community. They're so funny. Who is that lady? That's Lady Justice. Ooh, look at Lady Justice. Now, who's that lady? Oh Lord. Look at that. She looks very clownish. I'm sorry. I don't, but I'm sorry. How much money did they lose that they have to recoup? Oh my gosh. What do I envision? What do I envision? What do I envision? Oh my gosh, I envision, listen, my urbanites, I need you to like, I need you to share, and I need you to subscribe. Urban Tools for Change is on iHeartRadio now and Spotify. Yes! Yay! Thank you all so very much for tuning in. Thank you all for wanting to learn more about what's happening in the urban
issues
community.
Plaguing our community with Dr. Lisa Lacan.
But if you look at Lady Justice, sometimes I think she's peaking. See that little peak? Look at her. I think she's peaking with New Jersey, the Garden State, being number one.
We are number one.
Now that's not cool to be number one in that area, to be perfectly honest. I just know how it is. I can feel the wind. I can feel the wind.
Let's talk about sex.
Because it's, like I said, it's 10 o'clock.
You know what time it is?
And it's kind of convoluted. It's just all over the place. It's just all over the place.
Today, they were all over the place.
Let's talk about urban issues plaguing our community with Dr. Lisa Lacan.
Oh, mother, I won't get a chance at him. Oh, mother, oh my God, he's going to a what? An ABCU? What is that? No, an HBCU. They like to play chess.
The Urban Suite.
They like to play chess while we play checkers.
Checkmate. Shoot!
And if you all have any other questions, and I mean serious questions, not a question like, you look good, can I marry you? No, I am happily married with 4 children. Thank you, Lord. No, you can go elsewhere. There's a single website thing you can go to, but not here in the Urban Suite, okay?
Got your bio reading right hand, precise hand.
She said, basically, someone slipped a Mickey in my drink. Oh my God.
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. Okay.
You like school on a Saturday. No class. Y'all remember that? What do I envision? What do I envision? What do I envision? Oh my gosh, I envision major arrests. Not for low-level offenses. Nope. I see a lot of carjacking. I'm seeing it now.
3 days later.
Stay alert around your
car. Police say carjacking have skyrocketed, and investigators say most of the suspects are kids. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
I'm Jason Martinez, and our Kelly Rule live tonight in South Philly. Kelly.
Shayna and Jason, not only are they kids, police tell me in some cases they are as young as 13 or 14 years old, and they are repeat offenders. Police last night alone, there were 8 carjackings across the city.
Who do we have next? Yes, listen. We have a new judge. Well, not me personally, but we have a new judge in Louisiana, Judge Vanessa Harris. Now, let me read you her bio, and I'm gonna, this is interesting. Let's see, I'm gonna pull this up. Judge Vanessa Harris is a native of Washington, Louisiana. I had no idea Washington, Louisiana existed. She received a BS in computer science from Southern University in 1985 and a JD from Southern University Law Center in 1988. She has been in private practice with Harris & Harris Law Firm since 1988. She served as an assistant DA in St. Laundry Parish from 1988 to 2008. She took off as Opelika's city judge on January 1, 2009, and retired in 2020. They bring Sister Judge Vanessa Harris out of retirement because of what? Pull up the video of Judge Michelle Odenay, whatever her name is.
Mom goes, why are the lights
when I pull up in the whip, they be saying, God damn.
Why are your lights on? They're like, pull up.
And mom's yelling, nigger, nigger.
Kid, we have a nigger. It's a nigger. Like a roach.
Look, that's me.
No, that's
I came from the backside.
They're like, pull up.
And mom's yelling, nigger, nigger.
Kid, we have a nigger. It's a nigger. Like a roach.
Look,
I know that the judge has taken a period of unpaid leave to reflect on what her next move should be, and I believe she has all but acknowledged that the words uttered in that video were hers. And quite frankly, there's no place for that kind of language, especially among members of the judiciary who have the most important role in administering justice in our state. Same conclusion. I believe she should resign. I hope she will conclude that for herself.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what I just heard? This judge, who is supposed to represent the criminal justice system, that is supposed to have blindfold. I told you that the justice system, she's peaking. I'm telling you, every time I say she's peaking, this judge, Michelle Odenay, she was caught on camera using racist slurs. Listen, I cannot believe this story is amazing. That's why they had to pull Judge Vanessa Harris out of retirement, because this judge right here in Louisiana, she was voted on by the people. The people voted for her. She's in office, and she is having a ha-ha kiki time with her sons, calling people the N-word, and just, oh, look at it, Igor, like a cockroach. This is the judge. So when she's presiding and sitting on her bench, if someone that looked like me entered into her courtroom, what is she thinking? Is she thinking I'm a thug? Is she thinking that I'm on welfare because of her stigmatizing behaviors and beliefs? Because what she said, that was a very stigmatizing behavior and a belief system. The other issue that I have with this judge, she was caught lying on 2 occasions. Twice she was caught lying. She was lying on 2 fronts. When this video went out and she was caught, she said basically, now I'm paraphrasing, someone slipped a Mickey in my drink. Oh my God. She said she had a sedative. Somebody put a sedative in her drink and she didn't know what was happening. She didn't know that it was her saying that. She didn't know. Oh my God. Okay. If you go back to that and you hear her, she sounds very lucid. She sounds very alive. She sounds like she knows what she's talking about, and she sounds like she's used to using the N word. I guarantee you they use that N word around their table. I'm telling you, she just said the fluidity of using that word out of her mouth was amazing. Amazing. And then she lied on the second front. She lied on the person that she and her son apprehended, the guy who was, yes, he was breaking in, doing something. But she said that he was armed. Come find out he didn't even have a weapon. But see, this is what I'm talking about. Now, how does this tie in to what I mentioned last week?
You are entering the Urban Suite.
Next question. What is rehab counseling, and is that like a camp counselor? What is rehab counseling, and is that like a camp counselor? Well, no. Rehab counseling is we work with individuals with disabilities. So they could have developmental disabilities, they could have physical disabilities, psychiatric disabilities, cognitive disorders, things of that nature. And we work with them to help them choose, get, and keep a job. So that's our motto: choose, get, keep. It's really employment based. It's centered really around employment. So say, for instance, if Jane was in a car accident and Jane does not have the ability to walk anymore, and Jane, her left leg or one of her legs, her right leg, left leg, whatever, or both legs be amputated. We come in to assist Jane with devising a plan so that she can remain on the job as long as reasonable accommodations are there and as long as Jane can perform essential functions of the job. So we work with occupational therapists. We work with the HRs with employers to try to get those reasonable accommodations for Jane. We work with Jane so that she can drive herself to work, in a sense, so that she can purchase a vehicle that may be beneficial for her. So this is what rehab counseling, this is what we do. Okay, and then the next one is, what is psychiatric rehabilitation? So psychiatric rehabilitation is we help treat the side effects of psychiatric disabilities. Now, some of the side effects of psychiatric disabilities could be homelessness, unemployment, underemployment, it could be undereducation. So we come in and we develop sort of like a treatment team. So if we see someone that has a psychiatric disability, they come into my office and we do assessments. I cannot determine and make a diagnosis. I don't have the licensing to do that. I do thorough assessments, and then I give that information to a psychiatrist, and then we work together as a team so that the person in my realm can stay on the job. So say, for instance, if the psychiatrist has prescribed a certain medication that is making my client sleepy on the job, I will have a case conference with the psychiatrist as well as with the client, because the client does not want to get written up. And I will explain to the psychiatrist, listen, perhaps you need to change the time of the dosage because she's fallen asleep on the job, which is going to cause her to get written up or fired. So that's what I do as a psych rehab. My lane is employment. So employment related. However, we help, again, 3 things: choose, get, and keep a job. So that's what we do in psych rehab. It's very important that we understand about mental well-being as well as mental unwellness. We have the mental capacity. So what today I'm going to do, just for about 10 minutes, if that, we're going to go over a couple of things. One, the foundation of our mental state. I have my little book here. Sometimes I don't want to get off script because I'm on a time thing right now. So the foundation of our mental state. So this is only going to take about 10 minutes or so. And if you have a notepad, if you have pen, pencil, take some notes. Also, do me a favor, like this video and share this video, because this information, especially during this time of the pandemic, is very important. It's very selfish of you not to share this good information. You can't keep all this good information to yourself. All right, so you all are ready? All right, so the foundation of our mental state is typically based on 3 things, okay? The first one is based on how we feel. So number 1, how we feel. Number 2 is based on what we think. That's number 2, what we think. So it's how we feel, what we think, and then the last one is what we do. You got that? Feel, think, and do. So think about that. Feel, think, and do. Now, our feelings, because we have different realms in our bodies and things of that nature, our feelings is based on an emotional realm. Okay? So when you feel a certain way, when people say you're getting all in your emotions, well, technically you really are, because that's the compartment of who we are that oversees our feelings, so to speak. So what we think, that realm is the cognitive realm. It's cognition, how we think, how we process information and things of that nature. So that's cognition. That's the cognitive realm. And what we do is based on our actions. So how did we perform certain things? That's physical. That's the physical realm. So you have the emotional realm, you have the cognitive realm, and then you have the physical realm. So mental health or mental wellness is the balance of all 3 working together: our feelings, our thoughts, and what we do, our actions. So if something is a little off kilter, we may be a little mental unwell. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you can be mentally unwell for 2 days. Sometimes you can be mentally unwell for 3 days. But typically, if you are having, that balance, that's mental wellness. So having the ability to balance those 3 things is considered what? Mental wellness. Correct. So I always look at the opposite of words. So the opposite of wellness is what? Unwellness, right? So mental unwellness typically comes from a couple of areas. One, genetic and biological. So the genetic is I inherited certain things from my parents, from my ancestors, things of that nature. Biological is a chemical imbalance with my brain, having a brain disease in a sense, like schizophrenia. If you have been diagnosed with schizophrenia, you have a chemical imbalance, so your brain is not functioning correctly. The second one is trauma, okay? Trauma can create mental unwellness. And in Urban Tools for Change, I'm going to specifically talk about trauma and how trauma can lead to anxiety, and how anxiety can lead to stress, and how stress can lead to depression, and how depression can lead to one of 3 areas of suicide, because there are 3 levels of suicide. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. And then the third thing that can determine mental unwellness is our lifestyle. Do you use a lot of drugs? Do you hit the bottle quite often? How do you live? Do you live a healthy lifestyle? Are you overeating or are you undereating? Are you not sleeping at all or are you sleeping too much? So in the podcast, we're going to explore these things, and then we're going to look at a couple of things. We're going to look at the Patient Health Questionnaire 9. We call it PHQ 9, and it's 9 questions that they ask, and 9 questions that I can ask my client just to determine their mental health and their state of well-being. So listen, we are sponsored by Bless Ministries Incorporated. The Urban Suite is sponsored by Bless Ministries Incorporated. We are the premier workforce development agency in the state of New Jersey, and we work with various populations to get them employed, you guys. We work with those under the supervision of parole. We work with adults with disabilities. We work with youth with disabilities, like teens with disabilities. We work with those impacted by opioids in the state of New Jersey, as well as those that are receiving like food stamps and things of that nature. We do put people to work. Okay, these are the 4 urban tools for change that they used. Unification. They were unified in their mission. They were unified in their vision. They knew what they wanted. There was no diverse way of thinking. They were all lockstep. And then the second one is time. They had time dedicated to their cause. You didn't have to beg them to attend a meeting. You didn't have to have an incentive for them to go to a meeting. You didn't have to do that. They went to those meetings because they knew what was at stake. And then they had the resources. They pulled and galvanized their resources together, their financial resources, because that's a big one. That is a huge one. Their financial resources. And they pulled their resources, their relationship resources, those who are sympathizers to their cause. That's what they did. And then everyone had an emotional investment. So these are the ingredients, the urban tools for change that they used. So people say, well, what's in your toolbox? Well, what was in the community's toolbox? These 4 ingredients: unification, time, resources, and emotional investment. And then you carry that over into the vehicles. What were or are the vehicles that they use to promote their mission in order for their vision to be fulfilled? They used the educational school system, they used the law, and they used the media. Those were also tools in their arsenal. So you have the 4 ingredients, and then you have the 3 vehicles. Now, let me, as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an example of someone who is mentally mentally unbalanced. All right. So And I always give examples work related because I love employment. So you have a supervisor, and your supervisor wants to fire you, and you are fired from your job. So you feel a certain way. You feel like a loser. You may feel like you did something wrong. You may feel like a loser. So you think, you know what? I think I'm no good for anyone. I'm no good for my family. I'm no good for life because I feel like a loser. I feel rejected because I feel I am. So I feel rejected. I have been rejected. And then what do? You ponder on those thoughts. You ponder on the thoughts of I'm rejected. You ponder on the thoughts of I'm no one. You ponder on those thoughts that I'm less than. I'm not able to provide for my family. So guess what you do? You go into a phase. Like I said, guess what you do? You physically go into a phase where you may not want to perform daily activities, okay? You may not want to shower. You may not want to have sexual relations with your spouse. You may not want to engage in any of the things that you found pleasurable. And then what happens is you start to, at that point, depression sinks in, right? So that depression sinks in, and now it may manifest into thoughts of suicide. And we're going to talk about that at a later function. But that's how it operates, our feelings, our thoughts, and our actions. So say, for instance, you may not go down that path. You may get fired and you may feel like hitting your supervisor. But do you actually hit your supervisor? No, because you think about the consequences that could happen to you if you hit your supervisor. So your actions are going to be what? You're going to restrain yourself. So you're not going to hit your supervisor, right? Because I know, listen, we've had some supervisors that we felt like bopping them over the head. But what stops you from bopping them over the head? What stops you from bopping them over the head is because you think about the consequences of doing that. So you hold back, self-control. So you no longer operate on your feelings, okay? And then your thought, your cognition, you're analyzing, okay, if I do this, what will happen? If I do that, what would happen? So you're starting to critically analyze the possibilities of what could happen as a result of how you feel about your supervisor. I just want to say thank you for being the wind beneath my wings, because without you, there would be no me. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the people in Jamaica. I want to say thank you to my New Jerseyans. I want to say thank you to my Washingtonians. I want to say thank you, everyone. I want to say thank you also to those who have donated throughout the past month. We have accumulated almost $1,500. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is the last show of the year for Urban Tunes for Change. And I'm telling you, this has been a huge blessing, really a huge blessing. And I thank you all, my Urbanites, for coming into the Urban Suite with me, where we laugh, learn, cry, and grow. And then hopefully you take these tools, those 4 ingredients, and those 3 vehicles. Those are urban tools for change. To see a change, you have to have an arsenal in your toolbox. And you can do it at the local level. You can start at the local level. You can start at your alumni chapters. You can start by investing emotional time, emotional money, emotional resources, meaning you're so passionate about it. You're so passionate about it that you have to see this done. So have a wonderful, happy, safe New Year. And again, thank you for coming into the Urban Suite. Like I said, where you're going to laugh, learn, cry, and grow. Until next time, have a wonderful, beautiful, safe holiday. God bless and good night.
You know what time it is? You know what time it is?
You are entering the Urban Suite.
You know what time it is?
Let's talk about sex.
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs.
Let's talk about mental health.
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. Oh, good.
You know what time it is?
Let's talk about urban issues plaguing our community with Dr. Lisa Lacan.
You know what time it is? You know what time it is? You know what time it is?
talk about urban issues plaguing our community with Dr. Lisa Lacan.
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. I'm good.
It is for all our futures. We are subject to the fate.
You know what time it is?
Today, they were all over the place.
You know what time it is?
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Urban Suite. You have entered into the Urban Suite, you guys. Welcome. Hello, hello, hello. So listen, we are sponsored by Blessed Ministries Incorporated. The Urban Suite is sponsored by Blessed Ministries Incorporated. We are the premier workforce development agency the state of New Jersey and work with various populations to get them employed, you guys. We work with those under the supervision of, we work with adults with disabilities. We work with youth with disabilities, like teens with disabilities. We work with those impacted by opioids in the state of New Jersey, as well as those that are receiving like food stamps and things of that nature. We do put people to work. That's who we are. And again, I am Dr. Lisa Lacan. So I need you to like, I need you to share, and I need you to hit the subscribe button so that when I come on live, you will be notified when I come on. So anyway, like, share the video. Even if you don't like it, thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't care what you do with your thumb. Just do one of those thumbs and share the video. We're going to have a great time together. We're going to laugh together. We're going to cry together. We're going to be upset together. We're going to have a great time together. Sometimes, I'm going to have my coffee. Sometimes I may have my wine. I may have my water. But other than that, we're going to have a wonderful time together on Urban Tunes for Change. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. It's going to be a podcast, and it may be a video as well. So I'm gonna do both, but that's it. So have a wonderful day. Be safe out there on those